UFC's back in Miami for a banger of a pay-per-view. A lot of fun fights, plenty of money to be made. No time to waste. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, we got Nikita Krylov taking on Dominic Reyes. So Krylov is 30-9. This is his second stint in the UFC. He did go 6-3 from 2013 to 2016. Left, got re-signed in 2018, and has gone 5-4 since. So he's 11-7 overall in the UFC. Reyes is 14-4. That is 8-4 overall in the UFC. Krylov has won 3 straight fights. Reyes is on a 2-fight win streak of his own. Krylov, 33 years old. Reyes, 35 years old. I'm going to take the over 1.5 rounds here. It's minus 165. I'm going to parlay it. I'll get to it in a little bit. Plain and simple, both these guys have hit the over 1.5 in 4 of their last 7. I don't know if this one goes the distance. In fact, it probably doesn't, but I do like it to go a little long, so we're riding with the over 1.5. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, how about fight does not go the distance? Minus 200, you'd have to parlay it as well. But 35 of Krylov's 39 pro fights have not gone the distance, and 14 of Reyes' 18 pro fights have not gone the distance. That is 86% combined. Another prop I like is fight end by knockout, plus 120. 12 of Krylov's 30 pro wins have come by knockout, and 9 of Reyes' 14 pro wins have come by knockout. And both guys have been knocked out a combined 4 times before. And last but not least, if you want to pick a side, I do like Nikita Krylov here, money line minus 175, so you'd have to parlay it. Of his 4 UFC losses in this second stint, 3 of them came to champions. He hasn't fought in 2 years, but he was on a nice run before taking that time off. Reyes, before his 2-fight win streak, was brutally finished 3 fights in a row, and 90% of Krylov's wins come by finish. So definitely a clear path here for Nikita to get it done. Next fight of the night, we got Yair Rodriguez taking on Patricio Pitbull. So Yair is 19-5 with 1 no contest. That is 10-4 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Patricio is 36-7. This will be his UFC debut, obviously coming over from Bellator. Yair has lost 3 of his last 5, and Pitbull has won 3 of his last 5. Yair still just 32 years old. Pitbull getting up there, 37 years old. I'm going to take Yair Rodriguez money line here, minus 180. I'm parlaying it with the over 1.5 in Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes. Gets us plus 150 for that 2-legger. Of Yair's 4 UFC losses, 3 came to former champions, and the other came to a 2-time title challenger. So these are not bad losses at all. Also, his last 2 wins came to top 10 featherweights. Pitbull does have a win over top 10 lightweight and Michael Chandler, but it was 6 years ago. Hasn't fought anyone in the top 15 at featherweight, and he's lost 2 of his last 3. I mean, I like Yair to get it done here. If you guys are looking for anything else, take the over 2.5 is minus 160, so you'd have to parlay it. Yair's hit it in 3 of his last 6 fights, and Pitbull's hit it in 5 of his last 6 fights. And I also like Yair by finish at plus 250. 13 of his 19 pro wins have come by finish, and Pitbull has been finished 3 times before, including his last loss. Next fight of the night, we got Bryce Mitchell taking on John Silva. So Thug Nasty is 17-2. That is 8-2 in the UFC. And Lord Silva is 15-2. That is 4-0 in the UFC. Mitchell has alternated wins and losses in his last 5 fights. Silva has won 12 straight, 11 of those coming by finish. Mitchell, 30 years old. John Silva, 28 years old. I hate to do it, but I'm taking Bryce Mitchell here, money line, plus 275. He's obviously a good wrestler, and Silva was taken down 3 times by Charles Jourdain. For reference, Charles Jourdain in his other 14 UFC fights only had 1 takedown, and he took down John Silva 3 times. So he's not even like this crazy good wrestler that we're talking about, you know. I feel like Bryce Mitchell's going to have his way with John Silva here. Also, Bryce's only 2 UFC losses came to top 10 featherweights, including the champion as of right now until Saturday, Ilya. And Silva hasn't fought anyone in the current top 15. So I feel like you got to just take the value with Bryce Mitchell here, politics aside. Looking for anything else to take? How about the over 1.5? It's minus 165, so you'd have to parlay it. Mitchell's hit it in 6 of his last 7 fights. Silva, though, only hit it twice in his last 5 fights, so a little risky there. Silva by knockout, which is probably the most likely outcome, plus 120. They're giving you it at plus money. 12 of his 15 pro wins have come by knockout, and Bryce has been brutally knocked out before, and it was only 16 months ago. He's been knocked out twice, too. But the outcome I see most likely, honestly, is Bryce Mitchell by decision. It's plus 400. 7 of his 17 pro wins have come by decision, including 6 of his 8 UFC wins, and both of Silva's pro losses came by decision. Co-main event, we got Michael Chandler taking on Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Chandler 23-9, that is 2-4 in the UFC. Pimblett is 22-3. That is 6-0 in the UFC. Chandler has lost 4 of his last 5. Pimblett has won 8 straight fights. Chandler will be 39 later this month. Paddy still just 30 years old. I went back and forth here. I'm settling on the over 1.5 rounds. It's minus 125. I'm going to throw it in a parlay. I'll get to it as we go. Chandler's hit it in 3 of his last 5 fights, but all 5 of those fights did make it to round 2, so he's coming close to hitting it even when he's not. Paddy also hit the over 1.5 in 3 of his last 5, so again, maybe a little risky, but in a 5-round fight, you're going to give me over 1.5 at decent odds. I'm going to take it. The thing I was also considering taking, if you're looking for anything else, Michael Chandler has a dog here, plus 135. He's lost 4 of his last 5, but all 4 were the top 5 lightweights. He also has a win over number 6 lightweight Dan Hooker. Paddy hasn't fought anyone in the top 15. Also, Paddy's closest fight in the UFC, which he arguably lost, came to Jared Gordon, who trains with Michael Chandler at Kill Cliff. So he's going to have the same coaches in his corner, maybe the same game plan. I don't know. I also feel like Chandler a lot more well-rounded, but just he doesn't always use his wrestling. He doesn't always use the best methods to win. So if he just plays it smart, I think he's got a lot of ways to get it done. Another prop I like at plus money is the over 2.5. It's plus 120. Chandler's hit it in 3 of his last 4, and Paddy has hit it in 2 of his last 3. And if you like Paddy, he's got 5 rounds to get it done. Take Paddy by sub, plus 220. 10 of his 22 pro wins have come by sub, including 3 of his 6 UFC wins. And Chandler was just sub 2 fights ago. Not only that, but he was sub from the back, rear naked. Paddy loves taking people's back. So I'm just saying, the blueprint is there for Paddy. Main event, we got Alexander Volkanovski taking on Diego Lopes. Volk is 26-4. That is 13-3 in the UFC. Lopes is 26-6. That is 5-1 in the UFC. Volk has lost 3 of his last 5 and unfortunately was finished in 2 straight. Lopes has won 5 straight fights since losing his UFC debut to Movsar Evloev. Volk, 36 years old. Diego, 30 years old. I'm going to take the over 2.5 here. It's minus 230. I'm parlaying it with the over 1.5 in Michael Chandler, Paddy Pimblett. Gets us plus 158 for that. I like that 2-legger a lot. Volk's hit the over 2.5 rounds in 8 of his last 10 fights, and Diego has hit it in 3 of his 6 UFC fights, and he's hit it in 2 straight fights. So seems to be going a little longer as he steps it up in competition. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, how about Volk money line as a parlay piece, minus 125? He's only lost to top 3 pound for pound fighters in his 16-fight UFC career, which is wild stat. Diego's only fought 3 ranked opponents, while Volk's last 12 opponents have been ranked. So obviously, Volk's fighting the better competition. The worry here is his age and his chin, coming off 2 knockout losses and being 36 years old. No champion, 155 pounds or lower in the men's weight classes, has won a title over the age of 35. So he'd be the first if he could pull it off. If you do like Diego Lopes, take him at plus money right now, plus 115. 85% of his wins come by finish, and Volk has been finished in 2 straight. Volk also past the dreaded age of 35. So, this could be Diego's chance, guys. One more prop I like is fight does not go the distance at -120. 19 of Volk's 30 pro fights have not gone the distance, and 24 of Lopez' 32 pro fights have not gone the distance. Both guys been finished before.
I'm worth 100,000 like Woodrow. When a ball call me Wilson, going overboard at the Hilton.